Okay, so I've been in the lab cooking up man-made horrors beyond comprehension. Well, beyond your comprehension, don't worry. I can comprehend them just fine. I have been working lately with a variety of guns that are absolutely atrocious, and that's sent me down a rabbit hole of insanity that I think you're gonna want to pay attention to, because I think that this idea that I have, that I've not seen anyone else talk about yet, might have cracked the code so that we no longer would have to deal with the California assault weapon ban. If you live in the state of California, or if you don't, you're probably generally aware that our ARs look a little bit funky. We have two realistic normal options that people would go with: featureless rifles and the featureless rifles that look something like this, like the SIG MCXR that look like traditional hunting rifles, and fixed magazine guns that work via a variety of methods, like loading them in through a comp mag like you see here. Can't really see that well, I'll show you an overlay. We've got some things that suck, we've got some things that work pretty good, but we're always dealing with Penal Code 30515, the assault weapon ban in the state of California, feature ban. This sucks, and it's led to some pretty creative methods, and this method that I'm talking about today, if you want to see me try to do it, let me know down in the comments, but I think it might actually be the evolution that the DOJ might not be able to actually stop us from doing. Really quickly though, if you want to support the channel, use any of the links down in the description. Pick yourself up some Gorilla Mind products. They make great pre-workout supplements, that kind of thing. Support the people that support me. If you're in the San Bernardino area or in Southern California, check out Route 66 Shooting Sports Park. If you need a good gun store in that area, Second Amendment zone, like I'm rocking here. Might be able to get this whole thing, this idea, to actually pan out on camera by working with them. We'll see. So a while back, we had the Fify. For those of you that don't remember what this was, it was a little thing, little cage that contained a magazine that you would put into your gun, into the pistol grip of your AR, that could only be removed from the inside once you disassemble the action. Now, why is that relevant? Well, because Penal Code 30515 for rifles and pistols looks like this. I'll put this up over the screen. For a semi-automatic centerfire rifle that does not have a fixed magazine, but has any of the following: that does not have a fixed magazine. Specifically, that's what it says. Mentions nothing about a detachable magazine. It mentions the absence of a fixed magazine. Well, this is a magazine. This device fixed that magazine in a way that required you to disassemble the firearm's action in order to remove. That was why the Fify was a very revolutionary idea. When I first got brought this idea, I think it was by a guy named Wilhelm. I might have that wrong, I'm sorry. I talked to him on Discord and various other forums. Problem with people on social media is they have like 17 different usernames. Anyways, when that idea first came to me, I was like, that seems like it fits the definition of the law. I don't know if I want to be the test case. Well, Fify, the idea was presented to a company called Sky Tactical Supply. Sky Tactical Supply worked with Jason Davis, one of the most premier gun lawyers in the state of California, to give his reasoning for why the Fify would be a fixed magazine device. Now, what that would allow you to do is, since the gun had a fixed magazine, it did have a fixed magazine, a magazine that was fixed in place, you would then be able to have all the normal features and use the gun like normal. It just happened to have this little device in the grip of the gun. Well, California DOJ did not like that. The DOJ sent a cease and desist to Sky Tactical Supply, basically saying, you know, that magazine doesn't work with the gun, so we can't consider that. The definition of the law is pretty clear. The definitions of fixed magazine that the state gives are pretty clear. The Fify, by the letter of the law, complied with the law. Unfortunately, the DOJ was not having any of that business. They said, no, we're kind of in a weird spot because Miller versus Bonta, the FPC assault weapon case, and I believe Rupp versus Bonta, the CRPA assault weapon case, are further along in the line. If we were to try to sue over the Fify, it seemed like it was going to be an unfruitful venture and a waste of resources. Not sure if those are going to continue to be sued for Sky Tactical. We will see in the future, but I think our best bet is getting rid of the assault weapon ban entirely. If you want to see that happen, let me know. Obviously you do, right? My idea, now this came to me not in a dream. It came to me in one of my bouts of working up on cursed guns. I've been fiddling with, look, this is a 5.5-inch AR pistol. This is a SIG MCX regulator. I've been working with some pretty insane designs lately and messing around with a lot of stuff. And that's got me thinking of what other wacky stuff can I get into? Well, let me talk to you about the Gilboa Snake. The Gilboa Snake is a double-barreled AR-15. It has 2 triggers, 2 magazine wells, 2 bolts, 2 barrels, 2 recoil assemblies. It is essentially 2 AR-15s mashed together. It's one firearm that has 2 operating systems completely independent of each other. And I thought to myself, I bet we could do something crazy with that. And here's what my idea is. Now, I'm not a lawyer. This is not legal advice. I'm not telling you to go do this. Anything that you do, anything that you watch on this channel at any point in time should be a primer for you to then go do your own research, consult with experts, not me. Again, not a lawyer, not legal advice. I have people emailing me all the time saying, hey, I got in trouble with something that I've probably said, hey, probably don't do this. I got in trouble doing something, I need help. And I say, what you need is a lawyer, not a random dude on the internet who is borderline on the spectrum when it comes to firearms and fitness. So, the Gilboa Snake, it's got 2 mag wells. What if, hear me out, what if one of those magazines was fixed? So, we would have a semi-auto centerfire rifle. Now, if we look at, again, the Penal Code PC 30515 for rifles, it's semi-auto centerfire rifles that don't have a fixed magazine but have any of the following features. That's why we basically go one of 2 routes. We fix the magazine or we get rid of the features, right? We have a fixed mag gun or we have a featureless gun that is semi-auto centerfire, detachable mag with some other features, right? Removed. The Gilboa Snake presents an interesting opportunity. What if in one of the magazine wells, I put one of these comp mags, or maybe a Franklin Armory DFM. This is a fixed magazine. Even if I were to break this action open a little bit, I cannot take this magazine out because the comp mag has fixed it in place and you load it through the side port. Not the most usable thing, but these come out very easily. Once you disassemble the action, you pop a little pin, this comes right out. So compliance in the streets, assault weapon in the sheets kind of thing is what some people say about it. I don't do that. We fix one of the magazines. We have a semi-auto centerfire rifle with a fixed magazine and features. But what about the other magazine? Could that magazine be fully detachable? Could we then have one firearm with 2 operating systems where the firearm itself is one gun, it has a fixed magazine, it has certain features, it's center fire, it's a normal AR. It fires 2 rounds. My idea, my thought is that this gun would be legal in the state of California. Not a lawyer, not legal advice. What do you think about that? Now, if we look at the DOJ's cease and desist, I'll try to have this linked in the description. Sometimes links end up getting videos removed or demonetized and then people don't see it. But if we read the legal analysis and background, the department has concluded that the Fify installed with the suggested magazine is not a fixed magazine and thus would not render a semi-automatic centerfire rifle exempt from the 2 definitions of an assault weapon previously described. California regulations define a fixed magazine as an ammunition feeding device contained in or permanently attached to a firearm in such a manner that the device cannot be removed without disassembly of the firearm action. The suggested magazine installed with the Fify is not an ammunition feeding device for the rifle in which it is installed. Because the Fify and the suggested magazine are installed into the pistol grip, not the magazine well, the magazine in the Fify does not actually feed any ammunition into the rifle. See where I'm going with this? Action means the working mechanism of a semi-automatic firearm, which is the combination of the receiver or frame and breech bolt together with the parts of the mechanism by which a firearm is loaded, fired, and unloaded. Instead, the magazine's 5 rounds of ammunition merely remain in the pistol grip, uninvolved in the loading, firing, and unloading of the rifle, while the magazine well is left open. In other words, the Fify's suggested magazine is a dummy ammunition feeding device because it is non-functional for the rifle in which it is installed. With the magazine well left open, various functionally compatible magazines can be inserted into the magazine well and used to load firearm and unload the rifle, including a fixed magazine with more than 10 rounds, a detachable magazine, or a large capacity magazine. So they are basically saying that because the Fify contains a non-functional magazine that does not feed into the gun, it cannot be considered a fixed magazine. By definition, the definitions provided, the literal reading of them, it is a fixed magazine because this is a ammunition feeding device. It does not mention anything about having to feed for that gun. It's just, does it have a magazine that is fixed? A magazine is an ammunition feeding device? Yes and yes. Unfortunately, the DOJ is bad, dumb doo-doo heads. Now, putting the comp mag or some other fixed magazine mechanism like the Franklin Armory DFM. The DFM is a magazine that goes in through the top and then cannot be removed through the bottom, so you'd have to open the action up to remove the magazine. Usually you would have to remove the bolt catch as well, basically making it a permanently affixed magazine without severe disassembly of the gun. The comp mag might be a better solution for this. If you want to see me get my hands on a featureless Gilboa Snake double barrel AR, let me know. Because what I could do is put a comp mag in that to demonstrate that this would function. Let me know. I'm really excited about this idea. Let me know what you think down below. This could be a big breakthrough. I'm curious to see if the DOJ puts out any sort of guidelines or documentation after this video goes live, because I know they're aware of who I am. I've got some videos planned in the future about some NFA, AOW pistol type stuff that I'm planning with this KT or K Tactical 5.5 inch 5.56 AR. I've got some stuff planned that I want to talk about in the future that I think is going to be equally insane and cursed. So let me know what you think down below. Do you want to see that kind of stuff? I think that the DOJ sucks. I think the DOJ was overstepping their bounds when they banned the Fify or when they declared that the Fify was illegal. There's a lot of interesting stuff floating around on the internet that I want to talk about. If you want to hear those ideas and those ramblings, let me know down in the comments below. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.